So on your back, just breathe into the low back and the shoulder blades. Maybe have those feet on the ground. It looks like you do. And maybe let the knees fall together. Or if you want, you can just keep the knees apart, really whatever feels best, but just allow the back body to sink into the floor. We'll be exploring our fish pose today. It's in various forms, so that's a heart opener done on the back. It's kind of started from this shape, but for now, we're just going to feel the support of the ground beneath us. And I naturally just going to put a hand on the stomach and a hand on the heart. So if that feels right for you, you can try that. You can just keep those hands at the side body. We just breathing in the mantra, let, and exhaling the mantra, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And just think about transforming any tension into positive energy. So I have some tension in my forearms, so I'm just going to relax and soften, bring awareness to my forearms, and just imagine that tension being transformed to pure light energy. Soften the gaze, relax the back of the head to the floor. Feel the inhale, maybe counting to 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then let it go. And from here, let's just reach our arms overhead. Let the back of the hands come to the ground. Let's extend the left leg long and let the right foot come to the inside of the knee. Let the right knee fall out. So this is like a reclined tree. We're going to extend the arms up overhead. Just notice maybe the chest. You see, feel it expanding. See if you can feel the back body still on the ground with shoulder blades. And relax the arms. Let those backs of the hands relax into the floor. On an exhale, bring the right foot back to the ground. The right knee is to the sky. Bring the left foot to meet that right foot, so both knees are side by side. Let's bring our hands down to the sides of the body, the palms to the ground now, and hug both knees into the chest. A little apanasana. If you want, you can bring that nose towards the knees, or just allow yourself to come into your knees to the chest. You can add a gentle rock. Really nice, you guys. Maybe add some ankle rolls as you sway or rock. Kind of activating some earth element today. And then from here, let's send the right leg nice and long. And then we'll exhale to bring that left foot to the ground. Let that left knee come out to the side. And if you want, maybe you bring the arms back up overhead or out like a T, but allow those palms to be up again. So we're going to give us an internal rotation on the shoulders. Our fallen tree here on the other side. We notice those points of contact the heels, the calves, the entire leg, maybe the glutes, shoulders. Feel the earth supporting your bones, supporting your structure. Just like the earth supports the structure of a building, feel yourself supported. And breathe in again. Exhale. And now we'll exhale one more time and bring that left foot to the ground. And then bring the right foot to meet the left foot. So knees are side by side, feet are on the floor. You can tap the feet a few times. And then as you're ready, exhale to let both knees come out to the side. Maybe those feet come together in butterfly. And we're going to just pause here on our reclined butterfly. And then any variation with the arms, if you want to bring the hands, palms down now. That internal rotation, palms up as that external. And mine said internal earlier, but open palms is external. So maybe palms down to roll those shoulders in. Breath go. And one more breath in. Exhale. And maybe say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. And then let it go. And allow that loving kindness intention to go before us for our Thursday class. Now, as you're ready, roll over to one side. Let those knees and legs come together. You can bring one arm underneath the head. We'll pause in our embryo pose on the side body. Oh, inhale. And then with one hand in front of the chest or the heart, press up with that hand. And then gently make your way to seated. And if you want, you can sit on a block or a folded blanket. You can sit on the ground if you want, or bring one. You can come into the cross-legged, or if you want, you can bring one foot in front. And we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. We roll the shoulders forward and up and back as many times as you need to, as fast as you want. Just rolling shoulders. You can move them back and up and forward. You can switch directions. And do a couple more rolls just like this. And then we'll exhale to just find those shoulders neutral. And let's bring that right ear to the right shoulder. And just pause there for 2 breaths. And then as you're ready, bring that left hand out to the side and just walk that left hand away from the body. Maybe you feel a little opening across this left side of the neck and the shoulder, and maybe the inside of that left elbow. And as you're ready, bring that head back to neutral. You're going to relax that left hand, bring it to the lap, roll the shoulders again, maybe up, back, down, and back, up and forward. And then we'll bring that left hand behind the body. So I'm going to come closer. So the arm is going to be behind the back, and maybe that left hand, the palm is shining behind you. And then just find that elbow crease, that right elbow crease behind you. And if you can't find that, just roll the shoulders back and just bring that left hand to the hip and focus on bringing the shoulder kind of back. So when the back arm is behind us, we kind of have the shoulder back. So if you can't bring it behind the back, just bring it to the hip. But find that elbow crease if you do have it behind you, and then rest the right hand on the thigh, and let's look over to the left. And just breathe here, into the shoulder, into the front of that left arm, and into the right side of the neck. Maybe drop that right elbow a little more than you thought you could. Now on an exhale, let's bring the head through the middle and the chin to the right shoulder, and look over that right shoulder now. Maybe you feel the left arm open, maybe the left side of the neck. Inhale. Now exhale to bring the gaze forward. Let's release the left hand from behind the back. Bring the right hand to the floor. And then we'll inhale to bring the left arm overhead. And feel a side body stretch on the left side. Oh, sigh, breathe, and extend through the fingertips. And try to keep the shoulder back. So I kind of automatically kind of rounded forward. Try to bring the shoulder back. Keeping the chest open. Yes, really nice. And then let's exhale to bring both arms up overhead. Right arm up, left arm up, And then exhale to let those hands drift downward towards the earth again. And then you can rest the hands on the thighs. And then we'll exhale to bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. Keep the shoulder down. That left shoulder stays down. The ear is reaching for the shoulder, but it's not straining. It's kind of reaching. You can soften the gaze to the point where the eyes are closed if you want. Breathe in. And now on your next exhale, let that right hand come to the earth. And then walk that right hand away from the body. And maybe you start to feel that inner elbow, that right side of the elbow open. And the right side of the neck. Notice where the breath goes. If you follow the breath, where does it go? Does it go to the belly? Does it go to the throat? And then we'll exhale to bring the ears over the shoulders again. The head is neutral. Bring that right hand back to the thigh, and we'll roll our shoulders again. You can roll them back. You can roll them forward. Yeah, really nice. And then we'll exhale. Relax the shoulders, and then bring that right arm behind the back. It looks like everybody was able to do that. So bring the right arm behind. Find that left elbow crease. Bring the right shoulder back. Yep. And then we'll exhale to look over that left shoulder. Try to keep that right elbow down and the right shoulder down. Yep, so that right arm behind the back. Find that left elbow crease with that right hand. Inhale. And now let's exhale to gaze over that right shoulder, still keeping the shoulders back. And then breathe here into the neck, into the side of the body. You know, as we open up the neck, it allows more room for that air, for the breath. It's very vascular in the back of the neck, so it supports the flow of blood. And now let's exhale to bring the gaze forward. And then release both arms to the side and reach them out like a T. And this time we're just going to flip the palms up and then flip them down. King Louis has arrived, my brother's cat from upstairs. It's very shy, so see how long this lasts. Just flip those palms down and up. That supports the shoulder. And those inner elbow creases. Now, as you're ready with those palms down, let's float the hands down to the ground. We'll exhale, drop the head back, but see if you can push that chest forward. This is kind of like a seated fish. That blow back rounds like a cat back or a cow back. And now let's round into a cat back. Bring palms to the knees and really round that spine. We're going to pause here. And releasing any tension into energy, any tension, maybe into grounding, calming energy, or vibrant, invigorating, brisk ball walk energy. And now bring the shoulders over the hips, the ears over the shoulders, bring the corners of the mouth to the sky. And then hands to the heart space. Maybe soften the gaze. Maybe you have a particular intention for your practice today. Just let it bubble up right now. Maybe scan the body, notice the energy in the body. And now we'll inhale. Bring the hands up overhead. You can open those eyes if they're closed. Really reach up. Now keep that left sits bone grounded and reach over to the right side with those palms together. And then exhale to let that right hand come to the ground, bring the palm down, and then bring the left arm up and open up to gaze up at that left hand, or you can gaze down at the right hand. From wherever you are with the gaze, let's bring the left hand down to meet the right. It kind of maybe comes close, not all the way to it. And then we're going to open up again to the sky. So we'll just open and close on your own breath. You exhale to close, and your inhale expands through the chest. If you want, you can move super duper fast, or you can move slow, you can move moderately, just finding the pace for you. And then your next inhale, let's bring the left arm up and pause. Give an exhale. Yeah, and on your next inhale, bring both arms up to meet overhead, over shoulder. And then bring those palms together once more, and then we'll exhale over to the left. Keep that right bone glued, the right leg glued. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale to lower that left hand down. The gaze can follow that left hand, or it can reach up to the right. We open that right arm up to feel the chest open. And then as you're ready, we'll exhale to bring that right hand down to meet the left, kind of towards the left hand. And then open again. So just kind of moving at your own pace. Just a couple more. Maybe on your next inhale up with the right arm to sky, pause, let the breath go, and then inhale to bring the left arm up. Let's bring the palms to meet. Relax the shoulders, really nice, you guys. And then exhale to draw those hands in front of the heart, breathe in. And then we'll open the arms up on an inhale and exhale, pinch those shoulder blades together. Let that chest open, shoulder blades pinch. 2 more breaths here. Active shoulder blade pinch. And then release those hands down to the ground. Pause and then inhale. And let's exhale to roll up to table. Making your way there with knees underneath the shoulders. Oh. And maybe you tap the tops of the feet to the ground. And then maybe you pause and lean back, and you can tap the hands and the backs of the hands on the blanket. And then as you're ready, let's come into our downward facing dog. Reaching those heels to the earth if they meet. Letting the back to the legs really stretch open, and the chest reach for the thighs. Exhale, ground the hands, ground the finger pads, ground the heels if they reach, those toes, the feet, breathe in. Exhale. And now let's inhale to look up at the hands. Exhale to bring that gaze back to the navel. Then we'll inhale to look up at the hands. And then we'll exhale to bring the gaze to the navel, chin to chest. And now we'll inhale to look up at the hands, and we'll step both feet forward. Now let's hang here. Let's start by grabbing opposite elbows and bringing ourselves into a gentle sway side by side. And now really slowly, because we've been inverted for quite a few breaths, guys, let's bend the knees, let the arms come out to the side, drop those hips, lead with the chest, and then bring the ears over the shoulders, we'll rise all the way up to stand. And exhale, those hands come in front of the heart space, really nice. Shake out the knees. And then we'll exhale to bring the hands behind us, that low back, or kind of if you had back pockets, into those back pockets. And then that shoulder blade pinch we did before, bring the shoulder blades to pinch. And as you do that, do you feel that, notice the chest automatically just comes forward, okay? So pinch those shoulder blades, feel the chest open up. This is what's gonna happen on the ground later when we plant the forearms, the chest automatically pops. So this is, we're just gonna show you this anatomy. Bring the elbows together, shoulder blades together, and then we'll exhale to round those shoulders, and then bring the arms out in front, palms meet in front of the body, reach, reach, reach around the chin to the chest, kind of like a seated cat or a standing cat. And then we'll inhale to lift the chin off the chest, ears over shoulders, open up the hands to the back pockets or that low back, and then exhale, pinch those shoulder blades together, the elbows reaching for one another, pause. Now bend the knees slightly, and then send the hips forward, lift the heart, and then maybe tilt the head back for a little bit of a back bend, standing back bend. And now we'll counter that by folding forward. Exhale, hinge at the waist, and then fold, fold, fold. Let the hands dangle. Maybe to the floor, maybe to the shins. Exhale. And then bring those elbows out like a cactus and pinch those shoulder blades together for one breath. And then our exhale, bring the hands to interlace behind the back. You can just place those hands on the low back if that's not accessible to bring the hands to fold. If the hands are folded, reach the hands to sky. Let the head dangle, be really nice and loose. Yeah, good job. This is opening the chest. Breathe in and out. And sway side to side with the hips if you want. Now gently bring those hands back to the low back. And then release the hands to dangle in front of the body. Bend the knees. Let's sit the sits bones back and then leading with the heart. Lift the chest, bring the head back, and then rise up with the hands, the ears over shoulders, extending past the crown of the head. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale. Exhale. And another breath in. Now let's exhale to bring the left foot back or the right foot, whichever way is facing the screen. But we're going to face the long edge and come into our wide-legged stance here. I've got a full moon this week, so we're going to do just a variation of a moon salutation. Not quite a moon salutation, but that energy as we inhale to bring the arms out like a T, Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain pose. And then we'll bring that right foot to face the narrow edge and reach that right hand towards the toes, past that narrow edge, and just hinge at the waist. The right hand towards that knee, or maybe down lower towards the ankle. But see about keeping the gaze either up or down and the chest open. So in this triangle, focus on the chest being open and that hinge at the waist. It doesn't have to be a deep hinge. You just want to hinge a little and the chest opens, breathe in. And now we're going to clamshell that top hand down towards the bottom hand, just like we did seated earlier. And then we'll open it up to expand towards the sky. Do that on your own pace. We exhale to close and we inhale to expand, okay? So just move with your own breath. And now the next time you bring that top hand to the sky, we're going to pause there with that hand up towards the sky. Breathe in. And now exhale to reach that hand up, up, up. So that bottom hand is going to slide up and then bring the arms out like a T again. Exhale, really nice. Now bring that front foot, that right foot maybe towards the long edge. So both feet face the long edge. And then we'll sweep the hands down and then bring the hands to the heart space. Inhale. Now point the toes outward towards the corners of the mat and let's come into our goddess pose. You're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down, tucking the pelvis. And you can either stay paused here without moving, or if you want, you can lift one heel off the ground and then set it down, and then the other heel, and then set it down, or just stay with your feet grounded. You can be here about 4 more breaths, connecting into this earth energy today with that pelvis and those thighs. Breathe in and out. Releasing tension and feeling it transform to that positive energy, fluid energy. Now, as you're ready, we'll exhale to straighten those legs. Breathe in at the top. Your next exhale turns that right foot towards the long edge and then the left foot towards the short edge. Or if you had the left foot pointed at the short edge earlier, just bring the opposite foot. We're going to come into that triangle on the other side. So sweep the hands down and then to the sides and then reach through those fingers. Exhale to glance past that hand that's facing the toe to the narrow edge. For me, it's my left. And then reach that hand towards the narrow edge and then we'll hinge. So bring that hinge first. And then we expand through the fingertips and feel the heart open and the chest open. You can gaze up at the right hand or at that bottom hand. And then as you're ready, your exhale clamshells the top hand to meet the bottom hand. And then the top hand opens up. And you notice those hips move. They go from opening up towards the long edge of the mat to kind of closing towards the floor. Not a lot, just a little bit. And maybe you even feel it on that low back. At least I do. You might feel it in the upper back. Move with your breath and breathe with your movement. Inhaling, let. Exhale, go. Inhaling, let. And exhale, go. And the next time you bring that arm up to the sky, we're going to pause there with the hand at the sky. And then we'll exhale to bring both shoulders over the hips, standing tall. And then that pointed foot now turns to face the long edge. So both feet at the long edge now. Breathe in. And now bend the knees slightly, and we'll exhale to bring that left hand towards that right shin and reach the right arm to sky. Try to shift the weight into the balls of the feet, the heart hovering over the earth, right arm to sky. So it's a gentle twist. Maybe look down at the foot or down at the mat and feel that right arm to the sky. And maybe your next breath, you gaze up at the extended arm towards the ceiling. And now let's exhale to bring that right hand down to the earth and the left hand underneath the heart. So both hands are under the heart center. Let's bend our knees a lot or a little, and then kind of fold forward. The hands are there to support us, the crown of the head parallel with the floor. And gaze between those knees, maybe at the back wall behind you. And enjoy this wide-legged forward fold. Breathe in. And now let's exhale to walk the hands over to the left foot. Straighten the legs as much as you need to. Bring the right hand towards that left shin. And then kind of reach that left arm up. So the back's coming a little bit flatter. You might be lifting the back up higher than it was a moment ago. And your gaze is up towards the left hand. It can be towards the floor. Inhale. And then exhale, bring both hands underneath the heart center again. Bend those knees. Drop those hips, bring the arms out to the side, lift the heart, lift the head, arms come up overhead, palms meet together. And then hands come in front of heart space. Good, and then let's point both of the feet towards the front of the mat and come standing in our traditional mountain pose. It's not extended, mountain pose. The front of the mat, exhale. Wiggle out the knees if you need to. Breathe in and out. And then drop those hands. Inhale to bring the arms up overhead and then fold it forward. Uttanasana. Now let's inhale to bring the feet back and then lower those knees to the ground. And if you have a blanket handy, now's the time to bring it back onto the mat or bring it onto the mat. We're going to kind of transition towards our seated postures now, our grounding postures. So come onto those sits bones with the feet in front of you and the hands just kind of behind you. And as you're ready, take a deep breath in and then exhale to feel yourself settle back into the earth. Inhale, and then we'll exhale to drop those knees over to the right. And as you do that, kind of adjust those sits bones, probably the right one because the left one's lifted now. And if you want, you can kind of rock back onto your elbows. That left knee maybe hovers over the right foot, the right knee maybe close to the ground. And if you want, you can bring that right foot to the outside of that left knee, and you can rest the right foot on that outside of the knee. That kind of just helps bring that left knee down a little. Or you can leave that foot off the knee. You might feel comfortable coming all the way to the back and just reclining into this shape. That might be too much on the hip, it might be too much on the leg, depending on the day. But if that's comfortable, just allow yourself to just sink and drop into the earth. Good, guys. Begin to soften here. the heart space, the eyes. And let's gently bring that foot off of the knee, right foot back to the ground. And exhale, bring both knees to the sky. Pause here, let that left hip flexor kind of unravel. Maybe bring the legs nice and long, just kind of lying in Shavasana for a breath or two. Wiggle the knees, or wiggle the ankles, point the toes. And then we'll exhale to bring both feet to the ground again. Adjust those shoulder blades and the hips so you feel nice and supported. So you can drop those knees over to the left. And you can always come up a little bit. So because each side is different, so it might feel a little bit uncomfortable to be on your backs here. But if it feels okay, stay there and then bring that left foot maybe the outside of that right knee. And ground into yourself and let yourself ground into the earth. Give ourselves 2 more breaths here. And then last inhale. And exhale, let it go. Let that left foot come off that right knee. Bring both knees to the sky. Bring the feet to the floor. Lift the hips up and then lower that low back to the ground. We wiggle the ankles. And then we'll exhale to bring those feet to the sky. Lotus's favorite. Little legs up the wall. Let all of that standing energy, any tension, release. Feel that fresh blood flow here. We're going to be here in about 10 breaths, you guys. So really exhale into this. Relax the arms. Maybe you like to bend the knees and then straighten them again. Sometimes if my legs are feeling really tired and heavy, I bring my hands behind and just kind of hold my hamstrings with my hands even. That's on a really tired leg day. Another breath in and a breath out. And then in. And then we'll exhale. Now bend those knees, bring the feet to the ground. Then we'll exhale over to one side, the knees can stack. Bring one arm underneath the head, and we'll come into our embryo pose again. Pausing on one side. Exhale. And another breath. And then on this exhale, use the breath to support us in pressing up, coming into somewhat of a tabletop. So this is where we'll set up for that surfboard pose we talked about earlier. So find your bolster or your cushion. So that's going to go underneath the chest and the hips. And then either fold up a blanket so it's thick enough to rest the forehead on. Or what I do is I'll just use a block and then I'll just put a little bit of a soft blanket on it. So what it looks like is we're just going to rest the hips on the end of the bolster, chest, the shoulders, and our forehead is on the block and that blanket or that blanket roll. And then this allows us to kind of let those hips drop into the bolster and open up the front of the hips, especially by releasing that low back. And we're going to be here about 5 minutes, you guys. So really get comfy. And if it would be helpful, you can put a blanket over your shoulders and the back body. Just going to put it on like a cape. And then when you roll down, it's on your back. This is going to allow this nervous system to settle. Let the arms be effortless. And feel those shoulders, the fronts of the shoulders drop into this bolster. Feel the muscle of the back and the leg kind of floating forward as if it's just falling off the bones, relaxing so much into the earth. Everything just relaxing into the earth. If you need that affirmation to kind of anchor the mind, you can inhale, let, and exhale, go. Inhaling, let, exhale, go. As you rest, you might notice that you just feel as though you need to move the knees closer or wider, and then bring those feet wider or closer. That's just your body kind of adjusting, and that fascia in the body unraveling, the energy shifting slightly, just so slightly. Allow the breath to really come and go with ease. Relaxing the toes and the fingertips. Softening the heart as it drops into the front of the body, into the bolster. Let's bring our awareness to the breath. Give ourselves an inhale. And then we'll exhale to kind of slide those hands on either side of the bolster, maybe near underneath the shoulders. And then we'll press up really, really gently. Looking the heart up the bolster. And then we'll kind of come into our table. And if you want, you can come into a cat back. And then drop the belly to come into a cow back. And then a flat back. So the heart is almost parallel with the bolster again. And then let's arrange our block. So now it's on the higher setting. So we can place the back of our head on that block here in a moment. And we're going to bring just a slight little roll to the blanket and place that kind of where your shoulder blades might come onto the bolster. So it's not too high, but just a smidge higher than the bolster. And then what we're going to do next is come into a supported fish. So we're going to kind of bring the tailbone to the bottom of that bolster, and then use the hands on either side of the bolster And then kind of lift the hips onto the bolster, the shoulder blades onto that blanket. Hopefully you guys follow those directions. I'll repeat them here as soon as I get on here so you can see where we're headed. And then bring the head to that block. The arms can come out to the side, and then maybe you kind of walk those feet away from the bolster. You might want to extend the legs all the way long if that feels stable enough. So see how the heart is lifted? It's just a supported fish. And it doesn't have to look exactly like one. We just want to get a little bit of elevation to the heart. I think you guys are all there, so really good. And any variation with the legs and the feet, so however you feel stable on this bolster. And then now we're going to let the backs of the shoulders cascade over the bolster, opening up the heart again. The back body on this bolster, the head supported. And then drop into your fish. This grounding heart opener. We'll breathe in and exhale. Maybe say to yourself or out loud, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be grounded. May I be loved. And thinking of someone that you care about, someone you love deeply. And open up our hearts and our loving kindness to them. Visualize that person and say to that person, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be grounded. May you be loved. Now visualizing someone that maybe you only seen once, so that you see regularly in passing. Grounding into this fish energy, this loving kindness energy, say to that person, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be grounded. May you be loved. Now visualizing someone that maybe you don't get along with, maybe someone that you do get along with that can use a little bit of loving kindness today. Say to that person, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be grounded. May you be loved. Now keeping your back body on your bolster and on your block, we're just going to give ourselves a hug. So maybe cross the left arm across the chest and then the right arm. And maybe just feel that upper back. The shoulder blades coming apart and the chest coming together. We've opened up the chest. We're kind of bringing the shoulder blades down, so bringing them apart now. And then as you're ready, you can release those arms. If you want, you can stay here for your Shavasana in this fish variation. Or if you want your traditional shavasana, just bring kind of one foot to the ground and extend one leg long. That long leg just kind of roll over to that side, lift the head, remove the block, kind of roll over to the earth, and then just come really carefully and safely down to the ground. And you might really notice that fresh energy because of that bend in the back and that uplifted heart. So just be aware of that. And then we'll ground all of this energy back into the earth in our shavasana. Being really patient with ourselves here to settle back into this flat shape on the earth. Really nice, yeah, blanket. Always a winner this time of year. Oh, let out a few breaths and drop into this neutral pose. Allowing any tension to just melt away. And even if it doesn't, we might wake up and feel the same, but our energy and our intention is there. And that intention will keep on its way even without our awareness. So we're just allowing this intention to fill our space. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If you have time, you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Yeah, if you're ready, you can roll over to that embryo. Press yourself up to seated. Feel the breath in whichever position you're in, whether you're still in Shavasana or if you press up to seated, just feel the breath. Let's maybe bring our hands to prayer in front of the heart space and feel that beating heart against the thumb knuckles. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale to close. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om
Namaste.